Hello, Aries. Welcome to your love and relationship reading for February 2018. I'm using the Golden Tarot by Cat Black. I've got one oracle card here from the Energy Oracle Cards by Sandra Ann Taylor, and it's a woman holding a coin. And I think this card has to do with this because this is the secret. This is the shadow card hiding under the bottom of the deck after everything's been dealt, my pretty golden tarots. And this is the card that represents generosity and charity. So there's two ways to interpret this. If you are the one who's being generous, then you are the woman holding the coin, and you are being very generous with your money. Or if you're on the receiving end and you're receiving charity, so this woman holding a coin just represents the person that's paying out the money. It could be unless there's another woman altogether, because honestly, the cards that came out for you this month, I'm afraid, are not very good. It's just not looking like a good month for Aries right now. Some of the things that come out indicate to me there could be a breakup of a marriage, and maybe she has something to do with this breakup. Maybe this generosity is your significant other paying out money to her. Maybe your significant other is buying her gifts and spending his money on her. There's different ways to interpret that. So that's a possibility there, which I'm starting to think is more of what's going on than what I said previously about you receiving the charity. I think there may be another person that your partner is paying money to. And the reason I say that is because all of these cards indicate, there's a lot of cards that just indicate things are not good right now with the marriage for those of you that are married. And I was, well, let me get to it. Let me pull these cards up to show you what I have. So this is the broken heart. So that's why I'm feeling there's something going on with your relationship right now where your heart is broken. So if your heart is broken or your significant other's heart is broken, somebody's heart is broken. Now this card represents you this month. This is the Hierophant card, which has to do with marriage. So if you're married, there's trouble ahead in your marriage. For those of you who are single, there could be a wedding ahead. There could be a wedding for some of you. So I'll try to interpret it both ways because a lot of different people watch this reading. So there could be a wedding or there could be a divorce. It's one way or the other. Now, if there's a wedding, this could be, if we go back to this card, this woman holding a coin, if you're getting married, this could be a woman who's helping to pay some of the finances for the wedding ceremony itself. So that could be what that is all about. And receiving money, if you're getting married, receiving money, after the wedding, before the wedding, the gifts that you get, the money that you get. So that's another way to interpret that. Now, for some of you who are married and who are going through a breakup, because this is representing you as a married person, if you're going through a breakup, because this is the conflict. The Lovers card is the conflict. You may be having a conflict with your current relationship, and there may be conflicts because there may be a third party involved. If this woman is another woman that's involved in the relationship, but the conflict is with the Lovers. The conflict is with that relationship that you're having with your marriage. Maybe you want to be married, but your partner doesn't want to be married. And maybe the conflict is just with the conflict's with the relationship is what it is. Whether you're married or not married or single or getting divorced or whatever the case may be. Now, at the foundation of the reading, this is the card that represents a shallow victory. So where this person's the victor, this person's the victim. So where there's a winner, there's a loser. What is the victory? Who's victorious? And what did they give up in order to be victorious? So if say there's another woman involved and he's victorious because he's kept it a secret from you for a long time, but does he win in that? In the end, you sense that. You're going to know that. You're going to figure it out. There may be something that comes out in the open and you find out about it. Was it worth it? That's the kind of message of this card is that it's a shallow victory because there's something lost in order to win. And is it worth losing whatever that is? You know, is it worth losing the marriage to have this person? Maybe she's loaded and has a lot of money and spends her money on him. Is it worth it? Okay, now in the past is this card. So it's the death. It's the death of your being single. It's the death of your marriage. It could be a Scorpio. It could represent Scorpio. It's this transition phase. The death card is also about transition. So it's the transition from being single to being married, or the transition from being married to being single, but it's a transition of some kind, or it's just the death of the relationship. It's maybe perhaps the death of the marriage. You know, there's a wedding involved. So for some of you, it could just indicate the death of the marriage altogether. And at present is this Tower card. This is the sort of thing that rocks your world. It turns your world upside down. It's some drastic change, or it's some information that's very shocking. And this is at the present. So there may be something. If there was a card that had a sword, the sword, well, these are the swords. The swords tells me that if there's some truth, you discover the truth about something, and then it would rock your world. So if there's some deceit here where your partner was being deceitful in some way and you found out about it, and now it's this sort of information that would rock your world, turn your world upside down, something that's very shocking, or something that would create and bring about a drastic change in your life. And I'm heading more towards the divorce or the split up because of the broken heart here. So, I mean, maybe some of you are getting married, but overall, the message I'm getting here is not really a very good one for the month of February for Aries, I'm afraid. So in your future is having a lot of options, having a lot of opportunities. So if there is a breakup, this is having a lot of opportunities and other people that you can date, possibly. It's having a lot of options or what to do to recover from that breakup. It could also represent illusions. Like if you have illusions about what this relationship is, and illusions about whether or not this person's cheating on you, or illusions about if you're the person who's cheating, which is possible. I mean, maybe you're cheating. Maybe this represents you and you're spending your money on a man, or you're staying, you know, maybe you're having an affair with somebody because he's spending his money on you and lavishing gifts on you. And, you know, this could just be all the gifts that he's lavishing on you. You know, this could be this could be a man and his generosity and everything he's giving you. I mean, that's a possibility there. So maybe you'll break up with your current partner and end up with somebody who's lavishing gifts on you and money on you. But it could also be illusion. Maybe he's lavishing gifts on you, but he's not all that. You know, it's that, you know, somebody who's too good to be true. Maybe he's not all that he's cracked up to be. That's another meaning of that card. You have to use your intuition, which shows up in the final outcome. The moon is all about using your intuition, and I think this is a message from Spirit to use your intuition, because not all is as it seems. Not everything is as it seems, and that's showing up in the final outcome here. So that's the advice from Spirit. You know, not everything is as it seems. There may be some illusions here. This is how you're feeling inside. This is unbalance. I refer to this as unbalance because you could be if you're going through this breakup, if you're finding out about somebody who's cheating, or if you're just going through some really difficult times in your marriage is breaking up, and you're just like crazy out of your mind because going through a divorce is hell. So this is the hell of your divorce. That's basically what this represents. This is the hell of your breakup. You know, this could represent for some of you turning to other things for comfort to help you through that. So whether you're eating too much, or you're drinking too much, or you're partaking in drugs too much, or you're doing something to fill that void for that relationship to comfort you, to get you through the difficult time. This could just represent, you know, your anger, your anguish, the angst, everything that you're feeling in your mind. You're insane with what is going on, and it's just the hell of the breakup, basically. I think ultimately that's what I'm seeing here is the hell of the breakup. The hell that you go through in a breakup. And that's what you're feeling inside. Now, this is in the environment. This is a person in your environment. This could be another fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, in your environment. This could be a person that you're leaving. This could be, and if he's not a fire sign, he could have those qualities of being just an angry, miserable person. He's abusive. He's verbally attacking you all the time, making accusations. He could be somebody who's just downright mean. That's the shadow side of this card. Now, if you're leaving somebody, because this person could also, if we look at the positive aspects of this card, this could be somebody that has that you are just so physically attracted and the sexual energy between you is intense. And, you know, maybe he's a reason you're breaking up with your significant other because of this sexual attraction to this person and you can't leave him go. It's that fire. He lights your fire. You know, that's the fire. he's lighting your fire. And, you know, maybe it's not a good thing. Maybe he's lighting your fire and it's not such a good thing. But you can't stay away from him. You're addicted to him. Maybe you're addicted to him. Maybe there's another man you're leaving your spouse for because you're so addicted to him. Because this card also represents addictions. And maybe you're addicted to that, like that sexual desire for this person. Now, the Empress is your hopes and your fears. This is the mother archetype. So this could be hoping for a baby or being afraid of a baby or being afraid of motherhood or maybe being afraid of finding out that you're pregnant. You know, maybe if you're having the affair with this person because you can't stay away from him and now you're really afraid that you're going to get pregnant from him. It's a hope and a fear. So judging by the other cards and the way these all look, I'm going to say it's more of a fear, that the motherhood is more of a fear. I mean, clearly for some of you, you do wish to have a baby. You do want a baby. Maybe, okay, so maybe, all right, let's look at this. Let's interpret this differently. So maybe you're married and your heart is broken because you can't conceive a child. So take away a lot of what I said. Maybe you have a difficult time achieving a child. Maybe this Tower card represents some situation, you know, if you had a lost pregnancy, if you had a miscarriage or a lost pregnancy and it was devastating to you. Maybe it was just devastating to you at the loss of that child. And, you know, the conflict with the Lovers is this conflict in wanting to procreate and have this child, this wanting to try to have this baby, and you're having difficulty having baby. So the conflict is with the procreation, you know, the act of loving a person, the act of, you know, copulating. I don't know what a scientific term to use, but that's what I'm talking about, because when it comes to creating a child, it really comes down to the science of your bodies and creating a child. And a lot of people have difficulties with infertility. And maybe your heart is broken just because of infertility and not being able to get pregnant. So maybe this is a hope. You know, maybe for some of you, this has nothing to do with an affair. Maybe it has nothing to do with a breakup of a marriage. Maybe it has everything to do with having infertility and difficulties with money. And you're really, really longing and hoping for a child. And maybe this woman with a coin is somebody who's helping you financially with IVF treatments, or she could be a surrogate mother. You know, this could be a person who's related in some way to you getting pregnant. If you have a mother who's giving you money, helping you out financially, or somebody who's helping you out financially, or receiving money for treatment so that you can have a baby. And this generosity card is somebody being generous with their money so that they can help you with your child. So that's a completely different interpretation of what's going on. You know, and for so many people that watch this, I think it's valid for me to point out all the different interpretations right now, because a lot of you have very different situations. So for some of you, maybe you got married and you're just having difficulty having a child and you really want a child. Now, this is the final outcome. This is juggling the responsibilities. So it's juggling responsibilities within the marriage, without the marriage. You know, this could go back now. If we go back to some of where there may be a situation where there's another person involved, if there's somebody's having an affair, this is juggling two people. So there's different ways. It's just a juggling act, however that's interpreted for you personally. And this is the Moon card where, okay, so if we go back to the pregnancy, you know, this could be not everything is as it seems. So in all these scenarios I gave about the different relationships where maybe the relationship isn't what it seems. Maybe this person isn't who they seem. And you need to use your intuition, because this is also about intuition, to decipher who are they, what are they. This could also be somebody who's a Cancer. This could also be somebody who's a Pisces. The moon card, the moon rules Cancer, but the moon is the card that represents Pisces in the tarot deck. So now, the other way I interpret this card, especially for people who are trying to achieve a baby, this represents your monthly cycles, and paying very close attention to those monthly cycles if you're trying to have a child. So that's another interpretation of that card. I don't see baby coming up in the end. I don't see that coming up for this month. It doesn't mean you won't conceive, but it does indicate that for some of you, you know, it's just showing me that could be a struggle for some of you. Now, the Chariot is when you gain control of the situation. It's gaining control of your marriage. It's gaining control of your relationship. It's gaining control of your emotions, like if your emotions are completely crazy right now. Or if you're grieving, maybe you're just undergoing so much grief right now that you're out of your mind with grief. You know, and if you are going through a breakup and the hell of your breakup, this is you gaining control of yourself and gaining control of your emotions, gaining control of the situation. So that's this meaning for the Chariot. The Chariot also represents Cancer. So there's, you know, both of these cards to me can indicate somebody who's a Cancer showing up in your future. So I want to throw that out there as well. I don't know if I mentioned this on this video because I've done so many videos. I'm doing an offer for if you want a personal love and relationship reading, it's $14. I've got my email address down below. Just send me an email and I'll send you all the information that you need. My only means of collecting payment is through PayPal. So if you can't pay through PayPal, you can open up a PayPal account. It's pretty easy to do. If you click on my link for PayPal, it walks you through the process to open up your own account. If you have a credit card or a bank account, you just link them up to your PayPal account and then you can pay for the reading that way. So if you're interested for a $14 reading in honor of Valentine's Day on February 14th, I'm going to offer that all the way through the end of February. So there you go, Aries. I wish I had more positive message to give you, but I don't know, you're having a rough month this month for some of you. So I feel for you. I feel for some of you right now. All right, take care. God bless.